back, everybody. I've been home now for a couple days from my trip down to the Blue Ridge Parkway and then over to Myrtle Beach. I have not been on the Spyder yet, so I've been off of the Spyder for 2 days, which is quite rare for me. I hardly ever take 2 days and not ride. But we've been extremely busy at the house, and then with putting 1,600 miles on this thing, I didn't have an issue taking a day off. So I'm keeping it fairly close to the house today. I'm on 312 right outside Bremen, and I'll probably come down to 93 and then kick back up to Marietta Road. I forgot to turn the camera on, to be honest with you. I'm just out and enjoying the ride. It's cool temperatures out today, and I was just lost in thought and enjoying the ride. I'll just take 668. So today, I think I want to talk about heated gear. And I know it's 70, I don't know, 68, 69, 70 degrees right now. Sun's out. It's absolutely a beautiful day. But on my last trip, I learned something. So before I left, I knew I was going to spend time in the mountains. And I knew that most of it was going to be between 35,000 feet, 3,500 feet, and $6,000. And last time we were down there, that was anywhere from 10 to 15 degree temperature swing from being in a valley to being up high. And I didn't want to pack my leather jacket. I didn't want to take up that much room. So at the last minute, I decided I can take my jeans, I can take my underwear and my t-shirts, I can take my socks. I was wearing my boots, I had my rain gear. I'm like, if something happens, and it's been cool like how it has been here in Ohio, we could see 30s, high 30s, low 40s for lows. So I'm like, I'll just take my heated gear just to have it. And it's two pieces that I took. Well, three with the controller. It's just a pants liner and a jacket liner, so it doesn't take a lot of room. And the day I left Myrtle Beach, I knew I didn't want to ride the 600 miles home. I didn't have to be home. So I decided I was going to ride halfway, a little bit over halfway, and get a room in, I always call it Wytheville, but I think it's Wyethville, Virginia. So shortly after I got into North Carolina, it just unloaded. Just tons of rain, heavy rain, and just and how it wasn't just moving from west to east, it was running diagonal. So as it's moving this way, I was working through this way. So it wasn't like I was in it for an hour and then I was out of it. I was in it for hours and hours and hours. It had just stopped raining about 20 miles before I stopped. So the whole state, the whole 3 hours or whatever it was. So I'm glad I took my rain gear, because I didn't take, I had my jacket and I had my rain gear, but it wasn't cold by no means, but it was 55 degrees and raining, so it was just a miserable experience. But I had my heated gear. So I pulled off to the side of the road, and I didn't need my pants liner because I had my rain gear on, and those keep me pretty warm with the heat from the motor. I was fine. But I was getting cold. You know, you get a lot of wind on the F3. Even though this windscreen does a good job of moving the air around you, you still get a lot of air compared to an RT or an ST. So, I was getting cold and a little on the damp side, and, I put the jacket liner on, threw my jacket on, threw my rain gear over top of it, cranked it up, just a quarter of the way, and I was nice and warm then, and it made for a much pleasant ride. So rain gear is not only for 30 and 40 degree weather to extend your ride time, but it's for these cool mornings. It's, when you're taking a trip and you don't want to pack a heavy four-season jacket, or you can take a jacket liner which you can fold up, and it takes very little room, and then you have the security. If it does get cold, you're not going to be cold on the ride. I didn't take my heated gloves. I just took regular leather insulated gloves, which were a bit of an overkill, to be honest with you. So I'm glad I took it. I wasn't ready for the heat of South Carolina, just because I wasn't planning on going to South Carolina. That was, hey, I think I want to go see the ocean. I don't need to be home. I wrapped up the Blue Ridge Parkway day early. So I didn't have any sunscreen. I didn't have any light long sleeve shirts, just to keep the sun off of me so I wouldn't get a sunburn. But it all worked out, and without that heated gear, I would have arrived at the hotel, because I still had this jacket, and I could have put on the rain gear, over this, which would have helped quite a bit. But the heated gear made it a better experience. It took a bad situation and it made it better. So I'm glad I took it. And it was, a late minute decision. Hey, I'm going to be up in the mountains. Last time it was on the cooler side. And it worked. And I used it. I'm amazed how cool it is so early this year. I think last night the low was 44 degrees, 47 degrees, something like that. Today the high is only supposed to be 70, 71, which isn't bad. I don't have a problem. The highs in the low 70s, that's enjoyable riding. You throw a light jacket on, or a heavy long sleeve something, and you go out and enjoy the ride. I just know what these lower temperatures are going to bring, and for someone that tries to ride year-round, I don't like the colder temperatures. I don't like the snow anymore. I just need to become a snowbird, and for December, January, and February, I need to spend some time in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia. I think Marietta Road is up here on top of a hill somewhere. Marietta Road next right. Here's that big pipeline they're bringing through. There's Marietta Road. And this is going to take me to the small town that I just left, to be honest with you. It's just one big loop that I've taken. So my trip ended up being 1,600 miles. And the Spyder did great. You know, I've been able to put this tire in every condition that I'm going to ride in so far, except for snow. And I'm not going to worry about that. I don't ride in that much snow, to be honest with you. You know, maybe once a year I get stuck. If it's just snowing and the roads are wet, that's no big deal. You treat it like a wet road. You know, but when snow's sticking, I really don't ride the Spyder. That's about the only time. Snow and ice is when it doesn't come out. But it did good. I'm very happy with the back tire. It did excellent. It was some really heavy rain that I went through. You know, cars were pulled off to the side of the road, and I was running 50 miles per hour and didn't have an issue. You know, with pushing that much water, you know, I was going a little slower than probably what I should have, but you know, I was playing it safe. But we are on Marietta Road heading back to Bremen, and this is it's a smaller road, but it is an amazing ride. So on that, I think I'm gonna let everybody go. I do love my heated gear, and do recommend people that ride in cooler temperatures to get heated gear if they can. It's just, when you ride in the cooler temperatures, you have to put a lot of gear on to stay warm. And with heated gear, you put a liner on. It doesn't take a lot of room. You can control the temperature precisely. And, you know, I use first gear. And it's worked great for me. I've had one glove fail. And, within 2 days, the replacement was in the mail, and I got it 2 days after that, maybe. So it wasn't an issue. Great customer service. So on that, I'm going to let everybody go. I'm going to enjoy this ride. We have the hurricane moving into Florida, so hopefully everybody down there is safe. You know, the people that are staying there anyway. And I swear, on that one, I'm out. I want to thank everybody for watching, and everyone that's subscribed. Thank you.